Hey everybody, this is PJ Riley from Competition Archery Media sitting alongside cam manager Josh Grine. Josh, we got something kind of different today. Why don't you let the folks know what we're going to be trying out here?
Absolutely. We're excited for today. We've got Reo Wilde and Jesse Broadwater joining us. We're actually going to replay the 2019 USA Archery Indoor Gold Medal match with the two shooters that were there and let them comment on it. And I actually have to give a shout out to Ryan Rains. He's one of our followers on our Facebook page and Competition Archery Media Facebook.
Right.
And he actually threw an idea like this out there for us to try. So Ryan, if you watch this, thanks for the idea. And PJ, I'm excited. It's going to be a good time.
Awesome. Well, let's meet our two esteemed archers here, Jesse Broadwater and Reo Wilde. Guys, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for having us.
All right. So this is as we mentioned, this is 2019 U.S. Open Indoor Finals. This is the gold medal match. And so you guys were among the final 8 who qualified. You know, they have U.S. nationals all over the country. You qualified, then you show up at the finals match, which was, I forget where it was last year, what city we were in, Louisville, Indianapolis,
Cincinnati.
of those. Cincinnati. And then you guys had basically a bracket-style competition to come up with the top 2, who was you two, and now we're shooting for the gold medal match here. I guess we should start, before we start, let's start. Jesse, how was that process for you? Did you shoot one of your better qualifying rounds? How did that all go to get you to the gold medal match?
Yeah, I kind of like how they're doing it these days to where, it used to be just like a mail-in tournament, got all these different locations across the U.S. and you go there and shoot your round and, just kind of wait on, see how everyone else did after the last location is done. But, now with doing the main event, it makes it worth a lot more and it's more exciting. So you get to shoot some matches if you qualify in the top 8 and try to make a little more of a show out of it. So,
yeah.
I can't even remember what my qualification round was, but it was good enough to make the top 8. And then I remember I shot pretty good matches through to get to the gold final. I think I maybe missed 1 or 2, but I remember I was shooting pretty good. And, my whole kind of focus that weekend was my main focus was on the actual NFAA Indoor Nationals because that's one that's just been a monkey on my back and haven't won it.
Right.
And, so I've just been trying to I was trying to focus on that. So this was actually a great warm up for that.
Do you remember who you beat to get to the gold medal match?
I think, I don't remember everyone. I believe Tate Morgan may have been one of them. I can't remember.
Gotcha.
Can't remember all of them.
Jesse's been in 1 or 2 shoot-offs and elimination bracket.
So Reo, same question. Tell us about your road to get to that gold medal match.
I'm with Jesse a lot on that. I like how they do it now versus the old everybody shoot and you kind of wait to see if you win or lost or got 3rd or 4th. And this kind of adds a little more validity to it. I shot pretty decent the first one. I shot a 300. I remember on the first part of qualification. The next one, not so good. I think I shot a 93. So kind of a decent first day, but not great. Second day was pretty good. We laughed because me and Chris Schaff shot by each other. And he's like, he shot really good. He was the number 1 qualifier. I do remember that. And he's like, the only 30 arrows I didn't win was Rio's second one. So it was kind of a fun weekend for that. But to get to the finals, there was a lot of good shooters there. I mean, in the U.S., when you put 8 top shooters there, you're talking the best of the best. So it's to end up the final 2 is always a pretty good accomplishment. So to me, that was kind of my goal, to do well and know that I shot good for the whole tournament. I'm with Jesse.
Do you remember
being
who
the
you
NFA Indoor Nationals? Good warm up.
Yeah. Do you remember who you had in the match play to get to the gold?
I really honestly don't.
We should have researched this a little bit more.
Get your people in touch with Mike.
All right. Yeah. We'll figure it out. Hey, before we jump into this match, how many times, because the two of you have been around a long time, how many times ballpark have you two gone head-to-head in match play?
Good bit.
A few times, I can say that, yeah.
Probably indoor and outdoor.
Yeah, and I'll be honest with you, Jesse's one of the guys that I've shot with against as much as anybody. I mean, we've shot as the final two at Vegas and some of the biggest events in the world. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
in fact, a world record team holder. I know me and Jesse are part of that still hold that
Yep.
world record. And
Which record is that?
the head-to-head match score. We've only missed one in the match.
Wow.
And actually did it twice that year.
Yeah.
No kidding.
That's incredible.
Awesome. Well, all right, Kyle, let's roll the tape here, and guys, jump in and let us know what is happening as this match progresses.
Right.
Did anything happen yet?
Nope, not yet. Let's play. You ready? Here we go.
Anticipation.
I know.
Yeah.
U.S. National Indoor Championships Final.
I'm guessing they're probably going to introduce you two guys.
$8,000 and a gold or
Yeah.
silver medal.
Here comes the Aero agents.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who will advance to target one will be Jesse Broadwater.
It's pretty cool, too, because this is the first year I shot for Matthews. To get to do this against Jesse was kind of fun.
All right.
Will be Reo Wilde, shooting from the right.
When you guys are
side.
coming out like that, what are the nerves like?
Elected to shoot
Yeah.
first.
What's going through your brain as they're calling your name and you're walking towards it? Because that happens in a lot of these matches.
Go ahead, Jesse.
Yeah, it's just, you just got done shooting, head-to-head matches and stuff. So, I mean, my focus is just like, obviously you shot good enough to make it there. So you're like, just keep doing the same thing that you just done in the matches and try not to let this be like, overcome you with this big event. And like now it's the final event and, you go changing something up and, you want to just try to be consistent and do the same thing that got you there. So that's kind of what's going through my mind, just to try to be consistent. But it's obviously a different set. You're up on the podium there, and the lighting's different, and everyone's focused right in on you. So you just try to let that not distract you.
And you have 20 seconds, so it's a little different too. That's what part of what got me started there that I struggled with was usually you get 10 seconds when you get to the line. They didn't even start with that. They're like 20 seconds, and you're like, oh,
Yeah,
I
right.
have a long shot anyway. So I have not a real quick shot, so it was like, well, I'm pushed for time. So I struggled a little bit there with that.
Yeah. And there's, usually going from your like qualification round to the final, there's always a little bit of sight adjustment that needs to take place just because of lighting. So you want to try to make that good shot or the first shot good and then kind of adjust your sight from there. So
Reo, what happens like on that first one? You were rushed. It went wide 9. First arrow. What do you think? What goes through your mind when that happens?
Well, a big part was I knew that I was rushed because of the time limit in my head and the different stuff, and I was like, you got to get this off. So my bow arm helped me. It pushed it down there low left and fired it rather than letting it just happen and sit there and go off. And so to me, it's like I got to get it together. I mean, Jesse's a good enough shot. You don't want to give him too much or it could be over.
Right. Jesse, now, as they were talking about their 2-finger release, we don't see that a ton, but you're one of the guys who goes to that now and again. Why do you like that release?
yeah, I actually grew up shooting a 2-finger. I shot one for years and years. So probably since I was like 8, I was shooting just an old black 2-finger stand, the original, and that's what I grew up on. And so I switched to a 3-finger with a click because I found out over the years, and especially shooting outside with like the heat and humidity, and like my fingers was sweating and stuff, I had to rely on that first finger so much to be in the same spot each time. And I found out that when it was hot and slipping through my fingers, I was getting inconsistent shot timing. So I wanted to try to, go to a 3-finger, something I had a little more control on and didn't slip as much. So, but I've been bouncing back and forth between the two. And I do remember right before this, a couple of weeks before this, I was actually working on a couple little different things with like my back half and alignment and stuff like that. And so I do remember that was one thing I was focusing on during this whole weekend really was, I was doing something a little different with my back shoulder and my wrist and everything. And so a lot of times that's what kind of helps me take my mind off of, actually the nerves and stuff that's going on. So I do remember during this shoot off right here, I was focusing on that one thing mainly. So
And I was shooting a button
Yeah.
that weekend. It was something I don't do a lot
Right.
of, but we designed that one, and I was like, well, let's shoot it and see. And that's another part. You get under nerves and differences. And just like Jesse said, the first part is finding where it's going to hit and all the little different feels and stuff. And so I struggled a little bit in this match. I mean, it's just one of them ones you look back and go, maybe I could have done differently. But Jesse shot good, and that's just kind of how it works out.
Were you at all? I mean, did you feel comfortable shooting the button there, Reo?
Oh, yeah. If you know a top pro, they're not going to walk into anywhere they're not comfortable.
Right.
I mean, I shot a button for a lot of years. I won Lancaster with it a few years. One of my highest scores at Vegas was with a button. So I've shot buttons a lot. I mean, I did learn a lot on a 2-finger stand just like Jesse, but I have shot buttons. I've shot them all.
Yeah. Now, Jesse, you're kind of in a groove here. Are you feeling it up there? Feeling like, all right, I feel pretty good.
I actually did feel pretty good this time. But you never know. Like, obviously, you want to be like really focused in on just what you're doing and not what the other person's doing. And it happens every time when I shoot, a match. Like I don't even know what the other person's doing. Half the time, I don't even know what the score is, even though there's a scoreboard out there that has both the scores on there. I can like look on it, but it doesn't even really register how I'm doing, how they're doing. I'm just like really trying to stay focused on my shot and, not screwing up basically. So a lot of times, I'll get done with the match and it's just like a blur. Like, you're standing up there for whatever, 15, 20 minutes. And it seems like about 5 minutes you get done. You're like, you had to like, there's a lot of reflecting back on it to try to figure out how you actually done and, and then moving forward, how you can improve on it. So it's like, me personally, I'm just kind of in a zone when I'm up there and it just is like a blur. So I have to do a lot of reflecting back on it.
How about that? And now, Reo, at this point, you see that you're down by 3.
Yeah, it's a pretty tough hill to climb there. So at this point, my deal is just to check and see, kind of like Jesse talked about feeling. Let's see how we can get things feeling for the weekend. Because, we are there for the NFAA. 3 points is a lot in a couple lanes for our matches. And so it's just shoot it, see what I can get feeling. If there's something that's not right, so when I get nervous, how it's going to work and what it's going to do. Just a lot of different things there.
Yeah. Do you feel any added pressure being behind? I mean, the middle's still the middle. There's nothing you can do different except hit the middle.
You're going to try and hit the middle every time.
Yeah.
But to me, the biggest part when you're in a situation like that is work on something that you can come positive out of it.
Okay.
Because odds of winning that match are pretty slim at that point. I have seen weirder things happen, but it's like the biggest thing is walk out of it with something positive.
Gotcha.
And that's the thing, like it can go both ways. So if you're the guy that's 3-4 points behind, like, that it just depends on the mental state of the other guy. So if they see that and they're like, if that gets them amped up or whatever, they could start missing a couple and, that you've already missed a few and you're just kind of more relaxed or whatever. So sometimes it puts more pressure on the leader, and then sometimes the guy that's behind puts more pressure on themselves and they get down. It's just all a mental thing and what kind of mental state of mind you're in. So it's no matter what position you're in, behind or leading, you still just don't want to screw up and you want to do the best you can do. So it's all between your ears.
And Jesse's right. In the head-to-head matches, the biggest thing is you try and focus on what you got going on rather than what everything else going on because you can't lose it. You can look over the other guy and see him pound in the middle and be like, oh my gosh, whether you have a lead or not, if you started, that can change your whole mindset.
Jesse, you're just like working the same holes over and over. I mean, that's just...
Yeah, like I said, I do remember I felt good during this match, and that new little thing I was working on with my release hand was kind of helping me shoot better, but also helping me just through this match and not get nerved up and stuff. So I do remember I kind of got on a roll there and just started clicking them off. So I did feel pretty good at this time.
Yeah,
you never know how you're gonna feel, no matter what shoot off or shoot like. For me, anyhow, and I can't really put my finger on why you feel better certain times than other times. I mean, there's been times in the Vegas shoot-off where I felt great, like this year, and I remember the year like Alex Wiffler won, like I felt great that year. But there's been other years where, for no rhyme or reason, I, got a little nerved up and stuff, and it's just, I don't know. It's like, once again, it's all between your ears, and I think confidence has a big thing to do with it. And if you're just in the right state of mind and really keep your focus during that time, and you got your mind in the right spot, it's going to be a lot easier for you. But it's so up and down on how I feel during shoot-offs and stuff like that.
And I agree, Jesse, a lot on that, because another part I find is when you get out there and you start shooting, how it starts off. There's times I've walked out there and felt like I couldn't hit a house.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the nerves or what it is. You're
Right.
just like, and then it's a fight and a struggle to try and get anything going, and you're like, the frustration just gets even more and more. And so,
Drilled that one.
Yeah, there's
There
a
it
good
is.
one.
And I do this whole blinking thing. I don't even know I'm doing that either, but apparently I do that every shot. And
Yes.
I guess it's just I guess I've done it for a long time, and it's like because I get, for whatever reason, when I get in like a big convention center like that, or even like a big store or whatever, if there's like air moving around, my eyes dry out really easy. So I think I'm like just trying to keep my eyes kind of, moist or whatever.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
So apparently I don't even know I do it until I watch a video.
Yeah, I guess we should ask, what's it like for you guys to go back and watch this match? I mean, you've been watching matches of yourselves for years, but do you use this to help fix things, or do you discover things about yourself when you watch a match afterwards?
For me, I always like try to do that reflecting thing like I talked about earlier, and I try to like do that as soon as I can, like an hour or so after the match. I really like. It's nice if you can just kind of like have some alone time to reflect back on it for about 10 minutes or so, and like process everything, and then store it away and be like, okay, I need to work on this and this for next time, and then move on. At least with me, that's how it is.
Yeah, Reo, for you, now you see this match, were there things afterwards that you're like, okay, here's some things I need to work on, or here's what happened?
yeah, like I look at it a little bit. A lot of times, if it's one that I didn't do as well, I like kind of file it away under somewhere. It's not something I want to look at again, but it's just one of those that you're like, if I see one that I shot really well at and I'm kind of struggling, I'll go back and kind of watch to see if there's something different that I might catch on that I'm doing.
Yeah.
And so to me, that's kind of one of the things that I like. But other than that, it's I use them for more of that, to kind of remember where I was at what point and what I can do to help me.
Was there anything on this match that you were thinking about that struck you later, that you saw something that you needed to work on? Or did you know all the time what was going on?
Well, I knew I got started off the beginning. The beginning was a little rough and frustrating, and it just took me a long time to and maybe that's something that I do walk away with it, to know that when you get frustrated, not to let it beat you up as bad as I did. Because like I said, the timing was really a big start right out of the gate,
Yeah.
and I never could get my head wrapped around it, which, that's part of the game. Just like we talked, a lot of it's mental.
Yeah.
And so if we got that part, you just never know.
Right.
You shooting that TRX-7 there?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, I got that bow about 3 weeks before, and I'd been in Australia 2 weeks before that. So it was like, I just was playing with it, learning a little bit. And it's like I say, part of it is you learn when you get nervous how different it is.
Yeah. Yeah, Jesse, which are you shooting?
The 38, TRX 38.
Gotcha. Okay.
I thought there on the last end that Jesse shot a 9. That was a 10. It's like, oh, wait, there's a 9. Nope.
Well, yeah, Reo found the groove towards the
Yep.
end there.
Yeah.
You found what you
This
were
is the
hitting.
last shot here, I think.
Does the last shot feel any different, Jesse?
Afterwards, yeah, it's kind of like you can breathe a little bit more. But no, I just, like I said, once again, archery, when I try to explain archery to someone and how can I be good at it, it's a lot of times a boring conversation, because I'm like, You just do the same thing every time. It's that simple. Like,
Right.
a lot of people ask me, just like that, is the last shot feel any different? Like, nope, just try to keep everything the same. And really, that's what you got to do if you want to be consistent. You just have to do everything the same. So, I don't know. Sometimes, obviously, if you're in a Vegas shoot off and you got to hit this last one to win, and you actually know that, it's hard to really block all that out. That can be a pretty interesting sight picture, but it's not a better feeling when you actually accomplish, what you're trying to do and come away with a victory or, a personal goal or whatever.
Yeah, that's awesome.
There we got PJ and Jesse on the show.
Hey,
PJ.
there we go. What?
Warm fuzzy now you see him.
Right.
I actually barely had a voice for this. My voice was like shot that weekend. So if you listen to it in real time, I sound like, I don't even know what I sound like, but it was bad.
It was,
Yeah.
Fortunately, Jesse talks so much, so I didn't really have to say anything.
so when you go from USA, you're going from indoor nationals into NFA nationals same weekend. How do you, because you're both going into that weekend riding a different experience from this current shoot-off. So, Jesse, you're going in with a win. How does that impact your thought process? And, Reo, you already touched on it a little bit. It's a building, what can I do better next? But, Jesse, how do you go from winning this to keeping that rolling for NFAA?
Yeah, obviously it's a little bit of a confidence booster because, it's, the goal for NFAA is to shoot a 120 and, it's always to make the shoot down. So this was, shoot down experience right here. And it was a great confidence builder. So I felt pretty good. I'm like, well, if I just keep on doing the same thing throughout this whole shoot and, chance to dance at the end with 25 other people or whatever it's going to be, it's so tough to win. It's so tough to win these days, especially when you have that many in a shoot off and, you're shooting in with the best of the best, under the most pressure. It means a lot. Obviously you try to block all that out, but it was a good confidence booster for sure.
Reo, same thing.
It was a little bit of a work. Like I said, I was playing the new bow and I ended up missing one the first day. And so it was a little bit of a different struggle, but no, I shot good other than that. I mean, it's one of the ones I knew I shot good to get there. I mean, to win the few matches you win to get into that finals, you got to look at the positives and walk away and say, yeah, I shot good. Didn't do as well in the finals as I'd like, but, you got to walk away and just kind of reset and get started for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, and I mean, Reo, that you would have switched after that to outdoors pretty quickly, I'd imagine. 50 meters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was the next – I can't remember. Arizona wasn't very far behind it, so –
Right. Are you all, by this point, are you already shooting some of that, or do you start that after this weekend's over? This is kind of the big indoor finale.
I kind of put my bow together a little bit because if you make the shoot off, having your X10s flying good and ready to roll is kind of an advantage with an inside-out scoring. So, and with my spot hog swap rest and that, I could just swap it in and out for the different arrows. So it was kind of nice to have that set up.
Nice.
Man, I was ready this year too. I was ready. Had all that set up and prepared.
Well, you can.
Me too. I shot a bunch of rounds with my X10s. I did.
The whole world is against me with this shoot. I think that's why all this stuff happened.
Well, you can each both say, "Wow, I would have won it this year." Because who can say you were wrong?
So
I know I would have.
With this current situation going on, not knowing when we're shooting again or what events you're going to be shooting, you both shoot a ton. What does your practice look like now with a clear schedule as far as you can foresee?
Oh, go ahead, Reo.
I'm kind of playing with stuff. No real regiment right now. Just working, playing with equipment, seeing what I can find to really shoot good. Because, I mean, who knows when we're going to be able to get back out again. I mean, we've had World Archery say till the end of June. USA Archery's moving stuff around right now. No real clear anything going on. So who knows? And so to me, that's what I just play with equipment, different arrows, different rests, different setups, just seeing what really wants to fly good and shoot good so that when they do say we can shoot, we're ready to roll.
Right.
So that's kind of been what I've been up to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a feeling this is kind of going to be the downtime, and they're all going to be bunched together in the fall, which is fine. Well, hopefully it all gets over with, as soon as possible. But I've been shooting a lot at like 100 yards. I like shooting at distance, so I've been just shooting a lot there and doing some group tuning and stuff like that. And I haven't really changed a whole lot other than just playing around with a couple of different arrow setups, and so that's about it. I mean, I just been flinging them here and there and shooting with the kids and trying to keep them busy and trying to be Mr. Teacher here. We just got done doing some math problems that I'm going to have to do some research on that. But
Yeah, I noticed, Reo, that you were doing some classwork as well in your own house.
Oh yeah, get to be a teacher.
Well, it seems like Jesse, he has downtime, and instead of binging on Netflix like most people, he gets a pet pig.
Yeah, pet pig.
You gotta tell us.
pig.
You gotta tell us how the pig came about, Jesse.
So our neighbor, they have farm animals and stuff. A lot of them are like rescue animals, and they train dogs, canine training and stuff like that, and they board dogs. So they're like animal lovers, and they have a bunch of animals. So they have pigs, and last year their pigs had a litter, and they all done good and everything. And they're all grown up now. Well, they had another litter. One of them got pregnant again this year, but she was like being real mean to him. She ended up killing all of them except this one we got. So there was just one left, and the kids went up. They always go up there to feed the animals some scraps and stuff. They went up there, and there's like neighbors like, there's only one left, and she's being mean to it. And so of course, the wife and daughter like grabbed him up, walked in the house. I'm sitting at the table, and he walked in with his pig. I'm like, oh, yeah, we're just gonna keep him for a little bit, until he's done, and then we'll give him back. I'm like, yeah. You see how that works out with like all the other animals we got.
What other animals do you have there? Now I'm curious.
Oh, we got 4 dogs, a cat, a bird, a rat, hamster.
Oh my god.
What else? I think that's about it.
A rat and a hamster. Perfect.
Yeah. Literally a rat.
Which one's your
But,
favorite?
I like this little pig.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I love dogs. The pig is cool, and the bird is actually pretty cool too. He's starting to talk. He says his name and says a few other things. So trying to get him to talk and whistle some tunes and stuff. So
That's awesome.
Rio,
Spare time to training.
yeah, Rio, out where you are, I think I saw last week you had snow again.
Yeah, we did. It snowed, but yesterday was nice. It was 60-some degrees. So out here in Idaho, if you don't like the weather, in about 5 minutes it'll change. So
Unbelievable.
did you feel anything from that earthquake out there?
nope, we didn't.
I gotcha.
Oh, nothing.
We were downstairs playing video games, me and the wife and the girls, and I didn't feel anything. But
Crazy.
it's like 4 hours for me. So
Huh.
Gotcha.
Well, guys, we certainly appreciate your time. That was interesting. It's always cool to get insight. We on the outside get to watch these matches, but to hear what you guys are thinking, what's happening. I mean, that to me, I just find that fascinating because I just think I would fall to pieces if I were up on that stage just to begin with. So,
Yeah. So we have lots of people watching these videos that are home looking for content. Where can they follow the saga of Jesse and his pig and stay in touch with Reo and what's going on out in Idaho?
Just search my name, Jesse Broadwater, on Facebook and Instagram.
Okay.
That's the 2 main places.
Great. And Reo?
yeah, same here. Instagram and Facebook. It's Reo Wilde. Nothing too exciting or anything. Just hang out with the family and the kids right now, and maybe shoot my bow a bit.
All right. Well,
Gotcha.
thank you very much, guys, for taking time and joining us today.
yeah,
All right.
thanks, guys. We appreciate that. That was an experiment, and I think you guys passed the test.
And
All right.
hopefully it gave you guys a break from being teachers and
Pig
barn
wranglers.
keepers and whatever, snow shovelers or a suntan lotion applier out there. So thanks, guys.
There you go.
Have a great day, and hopefully
Thanks.
we'll see you soon.
All right.
All right,
Thanks for having
thanks,
us.
guys.
Thanks, guys.